Hello everyone, welcome to the new class of biology. In today's class, we will discuss how we can describe the inheritance process with the help of a single character. I already had discussed about the process of single character, or we can say in the sense single character means monohybrid cross. Okay. So we are discussing here actually about the monohybrid cross or the process of generation of single character. We will take one of the examples or one of the characters that Mendel had used for his experiments. Mendel had used 7 contrasting pairs of characters, and one among them is actually the height of the stem. We will take that as an example here to understand how the inheritance of a single character takes place. We will take example of 2 different contrasting pairs of plants, one being a tall plant, another being a dwarf plant, and we will just cross them between. Means crossing means we will have just a sort of like fertilization process, or we can say reproduction, in the sense if we are very much specific to what we are doing. We will actually do a reproduction process between a tall plant, a plant which is actually tall in height, and a plant which is actually dwarf in height. Actually we are taking this an example from the pea plant's height, and we will take them as the parental generation. Okay, so the next generation which we will get, this generation will be actually the first generation or the F1 generation. Okay, so the generation that we get, the parental generation, the generation that we get after the parental generation will be the F1 generation, or which we said in the previous class will be the first filial generation. The generation which we get after F1 generation will be F2 generation, that we know. So for getting the F2 generation, what we will do, we will take the heterozygous condition of the plant and we will self cross it. We will discuss it about now. Heterozygous condition, homozygous condition we had studied yesterday. Homozygous condition means it is with a particular condition where both the characters are same. This is a homozygous condition, capital T, capital T. This is a homozygous condition, small t, small t. Heterozygous condition means one is both of them are contrasting pairs. Like for example here, capital T, capital T. This is actually a heterozygous condition. Capital T, capital T. It is also an heterozygous condition. So both these conditions, what we will do, we will take one heterozygous condition and we will try to self cross it. Self cross means we had studied this in the previous class. Self cross means to cross or the process of reproduction where the generation or where the particular character is being crossed with that particular character itself. Means if you are taking capital T, small t, then you will take in for self crossing, you will take in the next side also capital T, small t. Okay, you are seeing a box like structure here. Actually we are going to study about what are the possibilities or probabilities that we can get if we cross such two characters, because we well know that if a tall plant and a dwarf plant is awkward, then from that the possibility or the probability of getting a plant is actually only one. We will get only one probability, one possibility of plant from that, right? So what could be that probability, or how much percentage or how much chances can we get from that probability? So we will discuss about that. and that is being discussed with the help of a square like structure which is actually known by the name Punnett square. This here, my friends, is actually a Punnett square. The Punnett square is nothing but a square like structure which is used to calculate some mathematical probability. It was actually found by British geneticist Reginald C. Punnett. He was the one who introduced this method of finding a mathematical probability of how we can calculate the F1 or even the F2 generation. So what should be done here? I think it's very much visible to you. If not, then just a minute. Okay, so we know, we can see that the parental generation that we had taken is a homozygous condition. Capital T, small t, small t. Right. Just a minute. So this parental generation is being crossed, and what will be done? We will take each of the gametes from them. Whatever we take from them will be one. Each one will be an allele from alleles. Each of these alleles, we will take the single gametes from them. So gametes that we get from here are capital T and capital T. The gametes that we get from here are small t and small t. Now we will arrange a 2 by 2 square. 2 by 2 means 2 rows, 2 columns. Such type of square will be made. How can we understand that a 2 by 2 square will be made? We will just take the number of gametes, how much it is. There are 4 number of gametes. So definitely if there are 4 gametes, then there will be 2 rows and 2 columns. And it will be depending upon how much number of gametes is to be, how much number of boxes or how much number of rows are to be made. If there are 1, 2, 3, 4 gametes in the row, then in the sense we have to make as many number of boxes so that we can include the next generation itself, right? So for that purpose, suppose we are having 4 gametes from a particular thing. If we are having one, here there are 2 only. If we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 gametes from this side and 4 gametes from that side, then we will take the double of the number of the gametes from each side. That is a simple way to find how much boxes has to be made. Or you can say there are 2 gametes, then in total you will have double the number of boxes. There means 4 number of boxes. If there are 4 gametes, then double, right? In that sense we will be making it. Okay, so what happens in such cases? We will write one pair of allele in one side and another pair of allele in the other side. Okay, so we can write capital T in the either side. I'm sorry, it is actually capital T, capital T, small t, just a minute. So the gametes that we had taken is actually capital T. We can take the gametes on any of the side. We can write it on the top of the box or side of the box. But as we had said, it can be taken on the top or the side. I had taken in the top. When for your convenience, it is better that you take on the side wise, because in that case it will be very much easier for you to identify how to write. Okay, and if we are writing capital T, then the next side it will be written as small t. Now we will write each of the characters together. Capital T, small t, what is it? Tall character. Which condition? Heterozygous. right? I'll just focus it so that you can see it clearly. Okay, capital T, small t. What will be the next generation? Capital T, small t, tall. Similarly, capital T, small t, tall. Capital T, small t, here tall. So we can say the F1 generation that is upward from the parental generation is completely tall, but of heterozygous condition. So what can we say about the phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio of the F1 generation? Can there be any ratio? See, for ratio we need at least two substances to compare, but there are nothing to compare. We can say all the four characters or all the four generation which has been occurred in the F1 are actually tall. And what we do, we take this character from the F1. From this F1 generation, we do the self-crossing process. I told you about the self-crossing process, where you will take the F1 generation, one of the elements, because all of them are same. You will take one among them and you will do the self-crossing process, right? You will do the self-crossing process, means capital T, small t, you will cross it with itself, capital T, small t, and the same way that you have taken, you will take the gametes, capital T, small t of one side, and the gametes from the other side, capital T, small t. How many, if you are arranging a Punnett square from this, then what can you get? What answer can you get from this? You can obtain the answer like which has been given in the next page. This is the one that we will get the answer. We will write the gametes on one side, capital T, small t, and the other gametes also of one side. Now we will write it together. Capital T, capital T. TT means tall. Pure condition we will say, or homozygous condition, right? Capital T, small t. It is also tall. Heterozygous condition, or we can say it is a pure tall condition. Capital T, small t. Capital T, small t. Always write the capital character first, because the capital character shows the dominant character. We had said in the previous class. Are there any dominant character in this? No. Both of them are dominant to each other. So they are homozygous. Is there anyone here? No. Both of them are recessive. So they will be expressed as it is itself. But in this condition, capital T, small t, T, capital T is the dominant character. That's why we have to express it as dominant from the dominant character, tall. Okay. So we will get capital T, small t, the tall character, and we will get small t as the dwarf character. So these are all the F2 generation characters, right? Here I think we can get a ratio from this F2 generation. What would be the phenotypic ratio of the F2 generation? You can see phenotypic ratio means how much tall and how much dwarf. That's it. How much tall are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 tall and 1 dwarf. That is the phenotypic ratio. And what about the genotypic ratio? Genotypic ratio means depends upon the genes or the alleles. How many pure condition? Capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. How much of them? Capital T, there is only one. Impure condition means heterozygous condition. How many are there? 2. And again the pure condition of homozygous recessive is actually 1. So this is the ratio. 1:2:1 is the ratio of genotypic ratio. Okay. I think you understood the concept. In the F1 generation that we studied just now, there was a slight mistake from my side. I just corrected it. So if ever you are writing your notes, then write it carefully. And there's a homework for you for finding the F2 generation. You just do by yourself. It is regarding the human eye. Okay. We have a dominant character and a recessive character. The dominant character, it is a homework question. The dominant character being capital V means black eye, a person with black eye. he has a crossing process with a person with a brown eye. Brown eye. Small letter B, small letter B. Black eye person, capital B has crossing with brown eye person, small b, small b. What will be the phenotypic and the genotypic ratio, and what will be the characters present in them in the F2 generation Punnett square? You have to draw as it is mentioned, just as we had discussed. Now you have to try to do by yourself. Capital B is the black eye person. Small b is the brown eye person. Means this is the dominant character, homozygous dominant character. This is the heterozygous recessive character. Okay, sorry, this is also the homozygous recessive character. What will be the condition? Suppose in any of the conditions, when we do the Punnett square, when we write the Punnett square, we will definitely get a condition of capital B, small b. What will be this? Will it be the black eye or the brown eye? That character is dominant by the help of capital B. Capital B represents the black eye. It is a heterozygous condition. We had discussed now. The one which has a heterozygous condition always shows the character of the dominant one. Here the dominant one was capital T, the character was shown as tall. Here the dominant one is black eye, so the character will be black eye for that particular gamete. allele. Sorry. Okay. So try to draw the Punnett square, also the method which we had mentioned here, to find out what are the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of both these crossing process. We had discussed that it is actually a probability. Means from the F2 generation, we will get a chance that 4 chances will be mentioned there, or there are 4 chances when the F2 generation is occurred. From that 4 chances, majority property or 75%, we can say 75% chance, or from the 3 chances or 3 by 4 chances will be there that the next generation will be also tall. Okay, and only 25% chance is there that the next generation will be dwarf, right? So similarly, if we are discussing about the genotypic ratio, discussing about if the next generation will have a pure tall condition or impure tall condition, we can say 50% chance, or from the 3, 1/3 of the chance is actually from the 4 chances that we had got here, 50% chance is actually for the impure tall condition, right? We have got 4 cases, means the next generation can be any of them. It is not necessary that it will be only one. The next generation can be any of them. So from the 4 cases, it will be 50% chance that we get a impure tall condition. Means there will be also a recessive character in the next generation if this is taking place for the crossing process, or if it will be the parental generation of for the production of next generation, then definitely there will be a chance of recessive characters in the next generation also. Okay, 50% chance for heterozygous condition and 25% chances only for the homozygous condition, or we can say 1/4 chances, 1/4 chances for the homozygous conditions. So this is how we can mention the probability criteria from how we can develop the phenotypic or genotypic ratio. So similarly, you also have to mention how much probability you will get here. Here I will say 75% chance for tall, or I can say 3/4 probability, 3/4 of tall, and for dwarf it is 25%, or I can say 1/4 of the probability in case of phenotypic ratio. In case of genotypic ratio, I would rather say 50% of the chance for heterozygous, 25%, or we can say 1/4. here it will be the chance of 2 by 4, or I will say rather say 1 by 2 chance, half chance, and here it will be the chance of 25 percentage, means 1 by 4. So this will be the probability or the mathematical probability of how we can depict the phenotypic and genotypic ratio. Okay, I think you understood the concept. If yes, then you can you can make the F2 generation of these two characters. If you haven't understood the concept, do comment it in the comment box if you haven't. Okay, that's all about today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.